Ready? Hi YouTube, this is a quick video about my quadcopter set up with FPV. Just a little review of how I set it up, how I've changed things, and how we get to set up with the GoPro mount on the bottom. I'm joined by my son Matty. Say hi, Matty.
Hi guys.
Hi. So where do we start at the beginning? Basically, this is a quadcopter clone. It was set up with a Creus control panel inside there, which is pretty good. It's got home return. You can send it all over to 4 or 5 different settings via Google Maps. I haven't had the courage to set it up yet as properly to send it via program settings, but that'll come in long term, I think. So basically, yeah, quadcopter set up with FPV, first person view, which is all the rage at the moment. It's fantastic. It does take a little bit of getting used to. It's not just like flying the quadcopter itself. You've got the aid of these Fat Shark goggles, which are very good. Not the cheapest things to buy, I must admit, but all in all, they're still very good though, aren't they, Matty?
Yeah.
Basically, what I did with these, I found out the original cable, the original antennae was a little bit crackly. So I went on the forums and basically changed it up to these flexy, funny shaped things here. And also on the quadcopter itself. And to be honest, they do give a better reception, less crackly, and I haven't really had any distortion of any sign. Basically, as well, what we've got with the quadcopter is set up to this this frame. It's a Hobby King, not Hobby King, sorry, it's a Heli Guy landing skids. Fits perfect. Very light, but very strong. I had a crash on this the other week and it didn't break, which is good. Normally, as a rule, anything you crash, it kind of breaks. So it's very strong, very light. And on the bottom, I've actually attached my GoPro mounting so that I can. It's not linked up, so it gives live streaming. I prefer it to fly FPV, record it on the GoPro, and then through microchip put it onto the computer. That way you can edit it a bit more better, this, that and the other. So the way I attached it on the bottom was using the helmet cam or the flat surface stickers on the bottom, so that all you do is link it out, slip it out. Let me just try and do this. It's hard to try and do while talking. You press the backs in and then it just slides off like that. Simple. And then you can change for different settings. On the GoPro that I'm recording at the moment, I've actually got the flat screen lens, original by GoPro, whereas this with the fisheye. But I like the fisheye when we're doing FPV and high flying. Okay, I've got the FPV set up here with the little camera. It's on a pan and tilt, which I haven't actually set up the pan and tilt yet because I don't actually think I need it. You get such a first person view by it having it stationary anyway, and when you're flying FPV, especially through trees and this, that and the other, it's better to have a fixed mount camera as opposed to one that's constantly moving, because it just makes the picture even more hard to keep up with. The ball on the front, I'm relatively new to this FPV. I've been flying helicopters, 600s, Trek 600s, 450s, 250s for a good few years, but quadcopters is a different kettle of fish, and FPV is certainly different. So I would highly recommend putting just a simple ball with an antennae tube on there for when you are flying FPV, because it makes a huge difference. It just gives you that parallel kind of line so that you know that you're level in which direction you're flying at. Once you actually get it up in the air and you get used to it, you kind of don't focus into the ball. But for getting started off on it, I highly recommend the ball and the antennae tube, just to make life a lot easier. Basically, the motors here, I've got the motors, which are very good motors. I think they're actually 12,000 kVs on there. Very strong, very good, no problems whatsoever. The quad originally came with an 8 by 4.5 props, plastic ones, which are noisy. I then changed onto 8.5 carbon fibre, and the noise was completely different, wasn't it? You can't you can't hear the quadcopter now with the carbons. And this, before I put the actual landing skids on there, I was running it with just the 8-inch props, and that was fine. But once you add the GoPro plus the landing skids plus everything else at the battery, I thought, right, okay, so we'll go up to the 10-inch, and it works like a dream. You still get the quick lift, everything. So it's definite way to go is to upgrade from the 8-inch props to the 10-inch, and definitely carbon fibre. They withstand quite a lot of resilience. You know, if the quad falls over and it lands on the prop, it doesn't break it. And whereas these are so silent, they're a little bit more expensive than the normal everyday plastic ones, but the noise difference is completely different. Basically, what else have I got on here? I've got all my GPS all set up on here, so it's a return to home. So if you run out of signal or you're going to have a crash, you just flick up your switch on your Spectrum, which is probably a good time for me to start chatting about Spectrums. I love Spectrums. I've got nothing wrong with Futaba or anything like that, but Spectrum is a well-known brand, and I've had lots of different Spectrums. They're very easy, self-explanatory. And you can set them up with all the different, altitude hovers, return to home, your grid references that you can do on your program into your Creus motherboard. It's all very on here, and it's all really simple. You know, it's not a problem. I've got it all set up with all of my helicopters. What have I got on here? I've got quadcopters. I've got my Trex 250, Trex 450, Trex 600. So they're all in here, up to 10 models on here, and it's a fantastic bit of kit. I've never had any kind of problem with this setup, and it seems to work well with the quadcopter as well. You can do any kind of trimming on the DX, as opposed to having to land it and start trimming. You can do it all while it's in. Just put it into altitude hold, and then you can trim it how you want to. You know, a little bit left, a little bit right, a little bit forward, a little bit back, and you can do everything all on the DX6i. So that's a fantastic bit of kit. The batteries that I'm using on it, purely because of lightness, I find a 2.2 3-cell 2 LiPo batteries, because they're a lot better, and there's a lot more power to them than the NiCads. And this is 2200 mAh, so it lasts flight time. With the camcorder and landing skids, I get probably about 7 minutes. Take the landing skids off and the GoPro, I get probably a good 9 minutes. And I think it's just purely because of the added weight and the bigger props and stuff. But it's a good mix. I'm yet to try doing a twin cell, run it on basically two 3-cell batteries back to back, purely just for time. But with that, you add weight, and it kind of counteracts. More batteries, more weight, more battery use, so it's better to go lighter and you get longer battery life. So is there anything else we need to speak about? No? I think we're almost pretty clued up. As I said, I've been flying helicopters for a good few years now, and I discovered quadcopters a few months ago, and I think they're absolutely fantastic to get into. The DJIs are a very good make. They're very easy to fly, and they're cheap. And if you do crash, you don't have to worry about putting the new tail booms on, or put new servos on, or put new blades. If you crash, you can have spare arms. It takes you 5 minutes to put them on. Spare blades, like a set of spare blades. And trust me, on YouTube, I've got one which I crashed. Basically, this quadcopter from probably about 40-50 feet in the air, and all I did was broken arm and a prop, but within a few minutes I was back up and running.
And so, it is night fly because it's got lights around the edges. Absolutely.
You've got the red and white lights which tell you front and back. So basically there you go, all in all, my quadcopter set up with Spectrum DXi, Fat Shark FPV, and 10-inch props and GoPro mounts. I hope you enjoyed my quick little overview of my quadcopter with my boy. And please feel free to subscribe to our channel, where we've got lots of other remote control and bits and pieces going on there. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Bye.